Seniors, your blood pressure reading could be wrong. Don't ignore this. Here's something that might rattle you a little. You could have dangerously high blood pressure right now, this very second, and feel absolutely nothing. No headache, no dizziness, no warning at all. They call it the silent killer for a reason. It quietly stiffens your arteries, strains your heart, and steals years from your life while you go about your day feeling perfectly fine. And here's the mistake I see good people make over and over. They assume the only answer is a pill. So they wait, they worry, and they completely overlook the one lever that's sitting right there on their dinner plate. Because the truth is, certain everyday foods can start bringing your numbers down within weeks, gently, naturally, and deliciously. Stay with me all the way to the end, because Food Hasson helped a woman I know drop her top number by a full 18 points in just a few weeks. Let me show you all 5. Now, why does this hit so much harder after 50? As we age, our arteries naturally get stiffer and less stretchy, like an old garden hose that's lost its give. So your heart, which is only about the size of your fist and never, ever gets a day off, has to push harder and harder to move blood through them. Over the years, that extra strain is what quietly leads to strokes, heart attacks, kidney trouble, and even a kind of memory loss called vascular dementia, something I've watched take hold of someone I love, which is exactly why I care so much about getting this right. But here's what most people never realize. A huge part of that pressure is decided by a simple tug-of-war happening on your plate, too much salt, pulling your numbers up, and not nearly enough of the foods that pull them back down. So let's fix that, starting with Food 5. Food 5 is a drink so gentle and so pretty you'd never guess what it's capable of. Hibiscus tea. Here's the everyday problem it solves. So many of us hit that afternoon slump and reach straight for coffee or a soda, and both of those are little stressors that tighten your vessels and nudge your pressure up right when you're trying to relax. Hibiscus does the opposite. That deep ruby red flower tea is packed with natural plant compounds that help your blood vessels loosen and open up, and in study after study, it brought people's top number down by several points. In fact, in one head-to-head test, it performed comparably to a starting dose of a common blood pressure medication. So the move is simple. Trade just one afternoon coffee or soda for a cup of hibiscus, hot or iced, and leave it unsweetened, so you're not trading one problem for another. And here's the thing, small swaps like this add up faster than you'd think. I think of a woman I'll call Sophia, 58, who lived on an afternoon can of soda to push through the day. She didn't change anything else at first. She just swapped that 3 o'clock soda for a tall glass of iced hibiscus. Within a few weeks, she told me 2 things. She felt calmer in the afternoons, and the readings she'd been quietly dreading had eased down a handful of points. One small swap, a real difference. Food 4 is something I lovingly call brown gold, and the proof I've seen with my own eyes is hard to argue with: ground flax seeds. Here's why this one's a gift. You want results without flipping your whole life upside down, and flax asks almost nothing of you. The reason it works so beautifully is that your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and your blood sugar are all tangled together, and flax tugs all 3 in the right direction at once. It's loaded with fiber, gentle plant-based omega-3s, and special compounds called lignans, and in research, people who ate flax every day nudged their numbers down by several points. But unlike a pill, flax throws in bonus gifts you didn't even ask for: steadier cholesterol, steadier blood sugar, and smoother digestion. Just remember one rule that trips everybody up. It has to be ground, not whole. Whole flax seeds sail right through you without giving up a thing. So stir a tablespoon or 2 of ground flax into your oatmeal, your yogurt, or a smoothie every morning, and let it quietly go to work. I'll call her Pearl. She's in her 90s, folks, and sharp as a tack. Every single morning, without fail, she sprinkles ground flax over her oatmeal, and she's done it for years. I could nitpick plenty about how the rest of us eat, but Pearl's numbers put people half her age to shame. It isn't magic. It's a tiny habit she simply never skips, and that consistency is the whole secret. Food 3 is the one Olympic athletes reach for to get a competitive edge, and the wonderful news is your heart can borrow that very same edge. Beets. The problem beets tackle is those stiff, tight vessels that force your heart to strain. Here's the simple science. Your body makes a molecule called nitric oxide, and its whole job is to tell your blood vessels to relax and widen so blood flows easily, but as we get older, we make less and less of it. Beets are absolutely loaded with natural nitrates that your body converts straight into that nitric oxide, topping up what age has taken away. In studies, people who drank beet juice daily for a few weeks lowered their top number by as much as 8 points, which is exactly why endurance athletes guzzle the stuff before a race. So pour yourself a small glass of beet juice, or roast some beets, or grate them raw into a salad. And don't be alarmed if your trips to the bathroom turn a little pink afterward. That's completely harmless, I promise. A man I'll call Carlos, 64, used to ride his bike everywhere and then slowly let it all slide. He started having a small glass of beet juice before his morning walk. That was the only change. Within about a month, his top number had come down roughly 8 points, and he swore he had more spring in his step on those walks too. His heart got the help it needed, and he got a little of his old vitality back. Food 2 works in the most satisfying way of all. It quietly cancels out the salt that's been driving your numbers up. Potassium-rich foods. Here's the trap almost all of us fall into. Salt is hiding everywhere in your bread, your deli meat, your sauces, and especially in restaurant food, and all that sodium makes your body hold on to water, which pushes your pressure up. Potassium is sodium's natural counterweight. It helps your kidneys flush the extra salt out and helps relax the walls of your vessels at the same time. The trouble is, most of us eat far too much salt and nowhere near enough potassium, and simply tipping that balance back the other way can bring your numbers down in a meaningful way. So fill your plate with potassium-rich foods: beans, lentils, bananas, sweet potatoes, avocado, plain yogurt. Your body has been fighting this tug of war with one hand tied behind its back, and these foods finally even the odds. Diane, 61, was a salty snack person: chips every afternoon, deli sandwiches most days. We didn't take anything away cold turkey. She just started trading the chips for a banana or a little bowl of beans, and she eased up on the deli meat. Over about 6 weeks, her numbers softened, and that puffy, swollen feeling in her ankles that she'd just accepted as getting older quietly faded away. She felt lighter in every sense. And food 1, this is the big one, is the food that helped a woman I know drop her top number by a full 18 points in just a few weeks: leafy greens. Here's why they sit at the very top of this list. Greens do 2 powerful things at the exact same time. First, they're the richest everyday source of those same nitrates that make nitric oxide, even more than beets, so they're constantly telling your vessels to relax and open. And second, they're packed with magnesium and potassium, the 2 minerals that calm the muscle inside your vessel walls, and that modern, overworked soil has been stripping out of our food for decades. So when you fill your plate with greens every day, you're widening your vessels and refilling the very minerals you've been missing, all in one bite. That 1-2 punch is why greens quietly outperform almost everything else for blood pressure. So build yourself a big bowl or 2 of leafy greens every single day: arugula, spinach, kale, chard, whatever you'll genuinely enjoy eating. I'll call her Ruth, 67, and her top number was sitting up around 165. She was frightened. Her own mother had had a stroke, and she didn't want to just wait and see. So she did 2 things together: a giant bowl of greens every single day, and she got serious about cutting the hidden salt out of her meals. In just a few weeks, her top number came down about 18 points. Now, I want to be honest with you about this, because it matters. Ruth started quite high, so she had more room to fall than someone whose numbers are already close to normal, and she paired those greens with cutting salt and kept her doctor looped in the entire way. Your own results will be your own. But Ruth will tell you that those greens gave her something a pill never could: the feeling that she was finally back in charge of her own body. So, how do you put all 5 of these to work without making your life complicated? The simplest approach is to stack them because they're even better together than they are apart. Picture greens and beets in the same salad, a banana or a scoop of beans on the side, a tablespoon of ground flax stirred into breakfast, and a cup of hibiscus in the afternoon. That's all 5, woven naturally through a single ordinary day. And let me save you from the mistakes I see most often. Don't buy whole flax seeds expecting them to do anything. They'll pass right through you. So always get them ground. Don't undo your beet juice and your greens with a side of chips and fries. You simply cannot out-eat a salt habit. Read the labels too, because plenty of healthy bottled juices and salad dressings hide a shocking amount of salt and sugar. And whenever you can, reach for the least processed version. Fresh or frozen greens over canned, plain beets over the pickled kind, and unsweetened hibiscus and yogurt over the sugary ones. Now please, hear me on this next part, because it matters more than anything else I've said today. If your doctor has you on blood pressure medication, do not stop it or change it on your own. Not for greens, not for beets, not for anything on this list. These foods are meant to work alongside your doctor's care, never instead of it. And here's the happiest outcome of all. As your numbers come down, your doctor may be able to lower your doses over time, but that's a decision the two of you make together, with your home readings showing the proof. A couple of specific cautions, too. If you have any kidney trouble, or you take certain blood pressure pills, all that extra potassium from beans and bananas can actually climb too high in your blood, so check with your doctor before you load up on it. And if you already tend to run low, or you get dizzy easily, go gentle with the beet juice and hibiscus and keep an eye on your readings. The goal here is steady and lasting, not sudden and dramatic. Let me make the amounts crystal clear so you're never left guessing. Leafy greens. Aim for a big bowl or two every single day. Beets. About a small glass of beet juice, or a half cup of roasted beets, most days. Flax. 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax daily, stirred into something you already eat. Potassium foods. Work a serving or two into most of your meals. A banana here, a scoop of beans there. And hibiscus. 1 to 3 cups of the unsweetened tea a day, with that afternoon cup as a lovely little ritual to unwind. Give it a few weeks of real consistency. Check your numbers along the way, and let the trend over time, not any single nervous reading, tell you the true story. So here's what these 5 foods really give you when you stay with them. A heart that doesn't have to strain so hard, arteries that keep their youthful give, a sharper mind protected for the years ahead, and that priceless feeling of independence, knowing you're not just waiting and hoping, you're actually doing something about it. But let me be straight with you one more time, because you deserve honesty. This is not a magic cure. There's no single bite that fixes everything overnight. It's a simple, science-backed habit you repeat, one plate at a time, and the real power is in the consistency. And that's exactly why I want to leave you with a challenge. I'm calling it the 7-Day Blood Pressure Challenge, and I would absolutely love for you to do it right alongside me. On day 1, take a reading in the morning and one at night, and write those starting numbers down. That's your before. On day 2, add a big bowl of leafy greens. On day 3, swap one salty snack for a potassium food, like a banana or a little bowl of beans. On day 4, trade an afternoon coffee or soda for a cup of hibiscus tea. On day 5, stir a spoon of ground flax into your breakfast. On day 6, add beets, juice, or roasted, and take a gentle 10-minute walk. And on day 7, check your numbers again, morning and night, and compare them to where you began. If you don't have a blood pressure monitor at home yet, that simple arm cuff is honestly one of the best small investments you'll ever make for yourself. And gifting one to someone you love might be one of the kindest things you ever do for them. Now here's my favorite part and the whole reason I'm asking. Come back and tell me in the comments. Drop your starting number and what you saw by day 7, or just comment day 1 done so I know you're in, and we can cheer each other on through the whole week. If this helped you today, give it a like so it reaches another person who needs to hear it. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And go watch the next video where I'll walk you through the simple daily movements that bring your pressure down even further. Take good care of yourself, my friend, because looking after your health was never selfish. It's how you stay strong, sharp, and independent for every single person who loves you. I'll see you in the next one.